Hi, you guys. So I finally took a day off of work, and I did it because I feel like I kind of needed a day to myself. I needed a self-care day, a day that I can finally just take care of everything that I've kind of been putting off. Also, excuse how I look because I also went to the doctor's morning at an appointment, and I'm just really being a bum today when it comes to that. But yeah, so we are gonna call today my Planty day off because I'm gonna try and knock off some stuff on my to-do list and honestly just kind of get that interest in my plants. As you guys know, Dino and I, from our last video, you guys know we just adopted a kitten. And before that, we had done a lot of going out of town, hanging out with friends and things. So my spark for my plants has been a little dull the past couple weeks, and I felt like today was just really needed. So we're just gonna do a vlog style planty day. Right now I am right outside of Lowe's. I'm gonna pick up some soil and things because I plan to pot up some props today. And then actually we're gonna pop over to Home Goods because I need a pot. At least one pot, because I got a plant that I'll show you guys. But yeah, probably maybe a couple pots. If anything sparks my interest, we'll see. Also, don't forget, you guys can use the code KELLYL8 for 25% off your entire order from Zinff. That's where these cute glasses are from. I wear these every day now. I literally love them. Yeah, so if you guys want some glasses for yourself, I got a coupon code below for you. All right, we're here, and obviously I'm gonna take a look at some plants. They have some big Adansonia. You guys see how big these leaves are? Oh, you guys, I just got an email about these today. These are the new aglaonemas that Costa Farms came out with. They've got like a, almost like a Philodendron Brazil type of variegation. I saw that. That's crazy. I didn't know they were in stores already. I wonder if is this global green? Or is it their lemon meringue? Lemon meringue. That's another one I actually don't have yet. But I don't need it. What else? So, oh, they have the orchid mix that I get. I'm gonna come back at the end and get some of those. Maybe some, I don't think I have soil, but I think I'm gonna get just a bag of Miracle-Gro because I'm cheap. They're pretty stocked. Oh. Is this a Three Kings? Someone tell me. I think this is a Three Kings. I might be wrong. Looks very tissue culture though, because like look at it's so dense and skinny. I think that's a Three Kings. I don't own that either. That was a little gem. Yeah, there it is again, along with this cutie. These all kind of look sad. Nothing crazy yet. These are pretty. A lot of Syndapsis. Big leaf too. Monstera. They don't really have anything here for plants, but also it's a Monday. and they get shipments Thursdays. Okay, I kind of like am thinking of maybe a pot from here versus going to Home Goods. I don't know. Looks like they're marking them down, which is nice. I would have liked this one, but it's clearly the only one not marked down. That's my luck. White. Yeah, that can't be this one, right? 4 to 5 inch. This is definitely bigger than that. That's a high contender. Spec white ceramic 13. Like, honestly, for this size, 13's not too bad. This is about the size I need. Should I just do it? I think I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I changed my mind. I think I want this more like stone looking planter. It's pink. I don't know. I think it would fit the plant that I got. Although I also kind of like this. I think I'm gonna do this one. All right, so they didn't really have much for plants, like I said, but they get shipments on Thursdays, so that's totally fine because I shouldn't buy any plants if I don't need to. But I found a really cute pot for the one plant. I think I'm still gonna go to Home Goods just to check, see if they have any good large size pots, just because if I start switching things or propagating or like potting things together, I wanna have a couple nice ones on hand, and then we'll go home. Okay, I can't believe I found this massive pot for literally half off. Like, that's insane. This is so big. It'll be so nice. I really want to get more intentional with my pots and even just styling in the home because right now it's a little cluttery. So I'm so excited that I found that. It's such a good deal. And this one is what I'm going to use for the new plant that I got, which is actually over here. Here she is. So this one is interesting. This is an Epipremnum albo, and I have had one of these already. This one has fenestration, so it's kind of getting towards that mature form. Look at that leaf. The reason I bought another one is because the old one that I had that was right there was just so funky and weird, if you guys can remember. And so I propagated it into a new plant with a couple pieces. There's like 2 vines in here. Oh gosh, there we go. So there's like 2 vines in here, but obviously it's the very beginning stages. And so I really wanted a big trailing one. This one, look at these vines. Did you guys see that? So that's kind of why I got it, because it is trailing so much, and I think I want to try and have it climb around a window, or I might find, it looks like this is a stackable coco coir pole, so I might get more poles and just do a massive totem of this and put it like near a window or something. It would actually be really cute back in that corner. I just don't think it got much light, but yeah, so I wanted like a nice established one, and I thought maybe this pot would be cute for it. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. Obviously it's hard to tell because it is such a mess right now, but that fits perfectly, and I think that makes it look really nice. The reason I chose this one too has some like really big leaves. There are some that are basically looking like monsteras that you can buy, because they're like fully fenestrated, but I don't know, I kind of still wanted like a semi immature size for the leaf. And this one just had such like beautiful variegation. So I'm super excited to see what's gonna come of this. So I set that aside, and as you guys can see, I have a bunch of plants here. These are the propagations that I'm gonna pop up. I propagated just a handful of the variegated heartleaf. I have 2 full mother plants, and so when they need to be chopped, I like to prop them up. And I'll probably sell these either on like Facebook Marketplace for cheap or do a plant purge eventually. But yeah, I definitely lucked out with a plant that has just such stunning variegation. And they actually propped super well. And then I also have really nice Hoya fungi props. They even, I think, attempted, oh my gosh, trying to balance this. I think they attempted to put out peduncles as well. New leaves. They're just doing so well. These 3 are all new leaves. This is like, you guys see how big these leaves are too. My Hoya fungi grows incredibly fast, so I'm definitely going to be taking more props because like, look, they propped so well, so easily. It's a whole vine. It's just super nice, and I definitely will either sell or give these away, something cheap. But yeah, just some props. And then I have my Hoya polyneura broguette. This one, I think, just like, it gets so dry in this soil that it came in, and it'll get like that wrinkliness. So I just kind of want to put it in the soil mix that I'm used to. And kind of the opposite for this one, this is my, oh gosh, this is my Hoya Bella Louis Bois or something, Louis Bois. And it actually, it does the wrinkling as if it was thirsty, but then I'll water it and it's just like, I don't know. The soil is not great. It has a funky smell. So I'm gonna take it out of the pot, check the roots to make sure there's not root rot, and then I'm gonna actually just repot it in a soil that I'm used to and that I like. And I'll also probably, this is on the top shelf of the Detolf next to those really strong panel lights, which is why it's gotten to be so pink. But I think I'm gonna move it and give it a little break from that much sun. And then last but not least, we have my Philodendron Goldie Eye Mint. This guy, because it's in such a small pot, dries out really fast. And like I said, the last couple weeks have been kind of crazy, so it's definitely suffering. But there is a new leaf right here. It won't focus, but there's a new leaf on the way. I think I'm gonna actually just repot it anyways. I know normally you shouldn't when there's a new leaf coming, but I'm going to anyways. And just kind of do it, give it a little TLC. I'm shaking so much because of my coffee. I just kind of want to like set it up for success and put it in some fresh soil and just kind of get it situated. So yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna do right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna pot these up in the cups that I have them propping in, just because in case I were to sell them, that way I don't gotta worry about any of my nice clear nursery pots. As you guys can see, they are rooted and ready to go. There are just, it does so well. I feel like I really got down moss propagating. It took me a while, but honestly, once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. So as you guys can see, I do a pretty chunky mix. I would say it's about 40, no, I would say it's about 50% of this orchid potting mix and 40% soil, and then I would say about 10% additional perlite. This orchid mix comes with big chunks of perlite, if you guys can see in there. But I kind of like having big and small. It also comes with charcoal pieces and bark. So I really like this as an overall chunky mix. And then, like I said, I do about 40% soil, just because soil does have nutrients, and it kind of helps me with my once a week watering schedule. Okay, so I took this cutie, my Hoya Polyneura Broguette, out of the pot, and I found that it's not so much of an established root system, which is kind of a bummer because I've had this plant for a long time and it's been in a cabinet and everything. Like I said, I think the soil that it was in, it needs a little more dense of a soil to try and like retain the moisture and water and establish some roots. So I'm really glad that I chose to take this out, check on it. Based on like the root ball, I think I'm still gonna keep it in this pot, but definitely not as chunky of a mix, or at least, you know, integrate more actual soil. Okay, so this one is opposite of the Polynura. You guys see the wrinkliness, but yet the soil is just like so damp. So we're actually gonna take it out and check for rot, and then I'm just gonna give it a soil refresh because it's just not loving this soil. Just as I suspected, the roots are pretty much rotted. So you guys, my camera won't focus, but it's so stringy, and that's like the outer part of the root coming off, and then you're left with strings. There is signs of hope. You guys see there's a couple fresh, well, yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 fresh roots up here. And right now the stem isn't mushy. So what I'm gonna do is go under the water, rinse all the soil off, see what we have. I'll probably cut off some areas, and then I haven't decided if I'm gonna totally chop and prop or try to reroot this as one whole piece. I haven't decided yet. So I rinsed off most of the dirt, and as you guys can see, again, definitely stringy, definitely had root rot, but this isn't mushy. So there are some salvageable roots. So what I'm gonna do first, I think, is I'm going to propagate it using some sphagnum moss and try to reroot this plant as a whole. I've done that in the past with other plants and it's worked really well. And then I'm just gonna monitor it, and if I see the plant declining or if I don't see any root growth, then I'll actually chop it and prop separate pieces individually. So right now I'm gonna go quick wet the sphagnum moss, and then I'll show you guys me like wrapping and setting it up. Okay, so I wet this down and then wrang it out so it's not just like soaking wet. And first I'm gonna put a little bit in the bottom, maybe like halfway, maybe like 1/3 of the way. And then I'm gonna take another chunk. I always do it based on the cutting, but for this one, I'm gonna do about that much. Place it in there, and then just wrap the moss around it, just like that. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. And I'm gonna put it in there, kind of prop that up. And then I'm just gonna take some more moss and wrap it around here. Normally what I would do then is give it a little splash of water to really just kind of water it in with the moss. However, because this plant had root rot and it was soaking wet, it actually needs to do the opposite and dry out. So I'm gonna leave it like this. The moss is damp, and I'm gonna pop it in a cabinet and let it kind of try to take root for a little bit and skip watering for a few days. And then once that moss is super dry, then I'll give it a little bit of water. That's my plan. So I'll keep you guys updated. It's very unfortunate because I loved this plant. I literally got it as 2 small strands. And then once I put it in the cabinet, if you guys can see, there are just so many strands popping out everywhere. And then I put it on top of the detolf because I wanted it to sun stress. So it got this really pretty pink hue. This actually flowered for me. And I have photos, I'll post them on Instagram soon, I'm sure. But it actually flowered for me, so I couldn't really tell that it even had something wrong with it. But then once I noticed that for consecutive days, even after watering, it still had wrinkly leaves, I was getting a root rot vibe. So I really hope she will reroot. If not, we'll take cuttings and we'll just go from there. But such a pretty plant. I had been wanting this one for so long. Last but not least for the video, we're gonna check on this cutie. Obviously we have a dead leaf. I actually cut off some dead leaves, but then we have new growth down there. If you guys can see, the soil looks really dry. Looks like a lot of soil kind of like came out of it. And we're gonna see if it needs just a soil refresh or if it needs the same as that Hoya Bella where we try and reroot it. As you guys can see, so there is still some soil on here, obviously, but those roots dried up. I don't know if it necessarily got root rot or if it just simply dried out so much and now these root hairs are just permanently dried out. But we do have this really nice, healthy, one singular root. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna put it back in soil because I don't feel like it'll do that well. I think I'm gonna put it in moss. And then because we also have a new growth on the way, I'll probably give it some water and then give it some fertilizer once I feel like it's doing okay, because I really want it to grow healthy roots first before focusing and trying to grow a bunch of foliage. So that's my plan. I'm gonna reroot this cutie. It just has such dried up root hairs that I really don't think they're gonna do anything for it. By the way, I just go a cheap route and I get a huge pack of these clear plastic cups from the dollar store, and then I burn holes in the bottom for drainage. Even when moss propping, I just find that that helps me manage the moisture level. So same thing, we're gonna put a little bit in there. And then this cutie, honestly, I think I'm just gonna pull some of those bad roots off. Okay, wrap it up, tuck it in, and then I'm actually gonna put more moss in there because I didn't really get a ton. Now, because this was the opposite of the Hoya Bella, and I did do damp moss, I am actually still going to give it a little bit of water before I put it in a cabinet. It was not living in a cabinet, so maybe it should have because of how small it is and the fact that it's a very high variegated plant. So I am actually gonna put this in a cabinet to root, but that's kind of why I'm like, I'm just gonna get that leaf off. I think I'm gonna put it in a cabinet just to give it a little rehab moment and root and grow. So we'll see. And just so you know, that's kind of why I do clear plastic cups. Most of my plants, not all of them, but most of them are in also clear nursery pots for the same reason. It's because I want to see how the roots are doing. That way I don't have to do what I just did and check if roots are rotting or what. So that just helps for propagating. I know the status of where they're at, if they're ready to be potted up and sold or not. And then, yeah, getting clear nursery pots so that I just can keep an eye on how my plants are doing. I highly recommend you guys just get them on Amazon. But yeah, let's see how she does. Okay, I know I said the last one was going to be the last plant, but I actually changed my mind because I checked on these and they're rooting so well that I think it's time to pot them up, and I'm just gonna do it while I'm here. These are so freaking exciting, you guys. These are Philodendron Cream Splash. It's a variety, I would say, of the Philodendron Brazil. Mine, however, as a cream splash, has been putting out so many high variegated leaves like this, which if you guys know, there's a philodendron called the Philodendron Gabby, which is another variety of the highly variegated Brazil. And I just I have had such good luck with my mother plant that part of me is hoping it will mutate and just throw out all of these leaves. Almost like giving me a Gabby, but yet I paid for a cream splash because the Philodendron Gabby is crazy expensive. Maybe not as expensive as some other plants that we've seen, obviously, but people are paying a lot of money for a Gabby. So I'm kind of excited that my Philodendron Cream Splash has a history now of putting out some all white or all creamy leaves. And I'll show you guys really quick my mother plant and why I'm kind of saying that. Okay, so right over here we have my mother plant. So you guys can see cream splash. It's just got a lot of splashiness. It also kind of has a tail like a Rio, another variety of it. But what's amazing, like I said, my mother plant is putting out these all creamy leaves. Like this one. Oh, that one's so hard to show you. Look at this. Do you see what I mean? Now look up a Philodendron Gabby. Oh wow, this one split into 2 growth points. That's so exciting. This is kind of why I'm propping, because my mother plant is throwing out all creamy, all white leaves. And I'm just saying, if it's a way for me to get a Philodendron Gabby and not pay that price tag, then yeah, I'm not complaining. But I'm thinking I'm probably not going to sell my props for this one yet. I'm going to prop up a whole pot of these props to see if I can get a Gabby, and then if it works out well, then I'll probably take cuttings of that pot. So here are the roots. This one is rooted in a couple spots, which is exciting. You guys can see super creamy. This one doesn't look like it has as much of those all white, but it's got a lot of that cream variegation. This one as well is rooted in a couple spots. I could technically cut this, because there's 2 rooted areas and plant them both, but I think I'm gonna keep it happy just because of this variegation coming out. And then this one, oh, it's kind of hard to tell. It is rooted up there, and then again, rooted here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I might put these in one big pot to have it become a new plant, and then I'm keeping this. I definitely don't think I'm gonna give this one away because I wanna see how these cream variegated pieces play out. So let's pot them together. I don't think that they fit. I don't wanna put them in too big of a pot. You know what, actually, especially while they're adjusting to soil, this might be the pot to go with for now, because a 6-inch would just be way too big. And I don't know if I have a bigger pot than this. I don't have a bigger pot than this unless I do it in a terracotta, which I don't want to do, or a non-draining pot, which I also don't want to do. So I think I'm going to cram them in here for now, and then I'll just expect that I'll probably have to up pot them again not too long from now. And I'll use that saucer. All right, so before I end the video, I just want to show you guys a few updates. You guys can see I've got so much stuff everywhere. My mint monstera is chilling here. That's normally in the bedroom. Same with my baby Thai constellation. And then my freaking Philodendron bipenifolium. So I have a lot of stuff kind of crammed in here just because of the kitten, because I can shut the door and keep her away. And obviously in my bedroom, I had the like 2, you know, super prized monsteras, so I just want to keep her away from those, and that's why things are just going to be kind of in here for now. One update that's really fun, I'm tripping on stuff. My Thai constellation has been putting out new leaves, and you guys see there's that one in the middle there. That one is just now hardening off. The leaves are getting bigger, and it's literally loving the summer sun. I am so excited, but it's kind of getting to a point where, like, you guys can see that leaf is barely getting any room to open up and harden off. But yeah, just a super exciting update. I love seeing it since I haven't really gotten to appreciate my plants a whole lot lately. Another exciting update, my El Choco Red finally put out a new leaf, and look at it. It is so pillowy. Ever since I potted it up with this moss pole, it did not want to give me any new growth, and it just now gave me like the biggest leaf. And then on the other side, it gave me a smaller leaf, which, well, yeah, a little small for my preference, but look at this. It's stunning. I needed that. Same with this cutie. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this. Look how many lobes this thing has now. That's so crazy. This used to only have 3 when I first got it. And it looks like there's a new growth on the way too. Okay, so back to my Philodendron bipenifolium. The reason it's right here is because apparently it tipped over when I was gone and Dino propped it up for me. But it has been leaning on my chair for support because obviously with the pole ending, we had so much big growth that I just have not been able to give it the support it needs quite yet. I think I'm gonna need like one of those really tall poles, or I might chop it. But I honestly, actually, it snapped. So I'm gonna have to chop it right there. which is gonna solve that problem. I'm just gonna do this like right now. There she is. So I think I'm gonna do like, should I do a bunch? Maybe I do a bunch. Get rid of that. You guys like how it's just like hanging on there now? Okay. Chop, chop, chop. Let's see what these look like. There she is. One node. I'm gonna plop these in water after they callus. Oh, come on, focus. This won't really focus. I'm gonna pop these in water once they callus off a bit, just because they are so big and philodendrons tend to root easily and they just have super long petioles. And then depending on how that goes will depend if I do moss, but probably just some water. But yeah, now I'm gonna chop up the rest of that. Oh my gosh, my camera won't focus still, but this is so crazy. Look, the stem is just growing up and straight down. Like, I don't know, what should I do with this? I think I might have to moss prop this one because it's so funky, or just say screw it and cut off that top part, or even maybe I just cut the leaf and I'll just pot it like this and just focus on that top growth. I don't know. What do you think? I can't decide. It's just so funny. I'll be definitely doing a video in here soon, just kind of like cleaning up and definitely probably rearranging, just because I just potted. Those props are all from the detolf over there, so that will be changing. Potentially gonna be putting other plants in there like Hoyas that I want to sun stress. As you guys can see, that one exploded, the New Guinea Ghost. And then I have that, I think it's a silver dollar, I don't really know. And then the AH blah blah blah. So that one has grown a lot since it's been on the top shelf. I just moved that one up to the top shelf because it was putting out this like runner tendril thing. So I'm hoping it'll do better. And then this one used to live on the top shelf and then it started growing, so I took it away. And the anthurium is in there. We got a lot going on. My mandula already outgrew the pole, so I'm probably gonna chop that. And oh my gosh. Oh my god, that is so pretty. I didn't even notice that because it just faces the glass. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy I staked this up. I need to like keep pinning up some of these vines because I want more of that, like the big leaf shape. That's so awesome. And then, by the way, I don't remember if I told you guys, but the plants in there have finally started to root outside of the cabinet, so I'll probably have to tackle this next, but I don't think I'm going to tackle it tonight. I think I'm going to make dinner now. I'm going to keep it at that for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I didn't really have a plan for today's video because it was just like a day I wanted to take off and go with the flow and do whatever I feel drawn to. Like I said, my spark has been a little dull when it comes to my plants, so I don't want to like force film things if I'm really not excited or not feeling it. So today, potting up some propagations and seeing roots and things doing well. You know, my Thai constellation putting out new leaves, that leaf that we just saw, that's kind of like, that's just what I've been needing lately. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more info on propagating, let me know. I, for the most part, showed you guys my process of just using sphagnum moss and plastic cups, and then I usually put props in a cabinet because I want to provide it a lot of humidity. If I didn't have a cabinet, I would put it in a clear bin to just trap in humidity and probably put it near a bright window. There's many ways that you can do it, but yeah, that's kind of what I do. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll just see you guys in the next video. Bye.